The story begins in the year 1941, where in a prison in France, a man named James McCullen was arrested for the crime of selling weapons to enemies and disrupting the city's atmosphere. One night, some soldiers dragged him out to give him the death penalty. Seeing his death near, McCullen began to say loudly that, "My future generations will keep this unfinished work of mine alive." Just then, an executioner forced a mask, boiling in fire, onto his face. After this, the story moves 360 years forward, where a man whose name is James McCullen is standing inside a NATO building showing the new weapons made by his company. The name of his company is Mars Industries, in which all the money has been invested by NATO. These modern weapons were made with nanotechnology, and their name is nanomites. James explained that these nanomites can destroy anything, no matter how solid the thing it is made of, and if we want, we can destroy entire cities by using them. But this is not like a nuclear bomb. Neither do they release any kind of radiation, and they are very easy to control. When you say stop, they will stop. Then James explained that the nanotechnology would be sent here from the factories of Kyrgyzstan, and then we would keep it in NATO's warehouse. The next day, 4 nanomite bombs were placed in a suitcase and handed over to NATO forces. The responsibility for this mission was given to 2 soldiers named Duke and Ripcord. But on the way, suddenly a mysterious aircraft reached near their helicopter and started killing the NATO forces' men by firing rapidly. In response to this attack, NATO soldiers also fired various missiles at them, but it had no effect at all on that unknown aircraft. Using its advanced weapons, the aircraft blew up all the trucks of the NATO army and landed the aircraft on the ground. Then a woman came out who was also the captain of this squad. That woman's companions killed all the remaining soldiers, and in the middle of this chaos, she took out the suitcase containing the nanomites and started to leave. But as soon as Duke realized this, he started chasing that woman. When they faced each other, Duke recognized that woman. Her name is the Baroness. The Baroness immediately attacked to leave and started going away. But then suddenly, a mysterious army reached there. They used even more advanced weapons to wound the Baroness's companions. Seeing this, Duke chased the Baroness and snatched the suitcase from her hands. But then the soldiers of the other team started asking Duke for the suitcase. Duke clearly refused them, saying, "I will die, but I won't give this. We are from NATO's side. Whose side are you on?" Then that force turned on their live projector to reassure Duke, in which General Hawk started saying, "Give this suitcase to them so that these people can deactivate it for a while and these goons cannot track the suitcase." But Duke still did not agree and started saying, "First show me by deactivating it." As soon as the suitcase was deactivated, Duke and Ripcord agreed to go with them. After some time, the aircraft reached a secret place built in the desert of Egypt, which these people call the Pit. When they reached there, General Hawk welcomed Duke and Ripcord and told them, "I am the captain of a top-secret military unit named G.I. Joe, and this great team has been made by combining the best soldiers chosen from countries all over the world." Just then, James contacted the G.I. Joe team through a live projector, but he was very angry because he was afraid that one of the nanomite bombs might have broken. James ordered a man on the team to open the nanomite suitcase. That man entered the pin of the suitcase, and as soon as the suitcase opened, it was confirmed that all 4 nanomites were perfectly safe. Seeing this, James calmed down and immediately turned off the live projector. Then, after going onto a submarine, James started taking out all his anger on the Baroness because she had lost the nanomite suitcase from her hands. But this also revealed that James himself was behind this attack so that he could use the weapons he made without creating suspicion. James also shared that, "I very cleverly made the G.I. Joe people open that suitcase. Then, when it closed, the tracker turned on automatically. Through this, they found out their location in the Egyptian desert." After this, James ordered the Baroness and Storm Shadow that they must snatch that suitcase from G.I. Joe at any cost. And at the same time, he asked his loyal man Zartan to prepare for this mission in the underwater base. Upon reaching the headquarters, we saw a scientist named the Doctor. The brain behind all of this was the Doctor. On the strength of his experiments, the Doctor had prepared a special force with the help of liquid nanomites. Because of having nanomites in their bodies, these soldiers felt neither fear nor pain. The Doctor named this new and dangerous force the Cobra troops. Along with this, the Doctor explained that we can control all of them according to our will. They will never betray us. Happy with the capability of the Cobra force, James told the doctor to send this army to help the Baroness and Storm Shadow, who were preparing to snatch that nanomite suitcase from the G.I. Joe headquarters. Now James revealed that to fulfill my dream of capturing the world, I have prepared 3 nanomite missiles so that by using them, I can attack Russia, China, and the USA. Once their capitals are dropped, then no one will come in between. Meanwhile, in the pit, Duke told General Hawk that I also want to join this team. Along with this, he also shared that he knows the Baroness very well, who was the captain of that aircraft that attacked them. Here, after returning home, the Baroness met her husband, Daniel. Daniel said, "I was getting very worried. I had no news of you." At this, the Baroness calmed him down and said, "Don't worry so much." Then when Daniel went out of the room, Storm Shadow suddenly reached there and started warning the Baroness, "Don't get distracted. We have to complete this mission today." After Storm left, the Baroness opened a ring box, which started refreshing her 4-year-old memories. The Baroness remembered the time when Duke had proposed to her at a party. They loved each other. The Baroness's younger brother Rex, who was a military scientist, was standing nearby watching all this. The Baroness said, "I will take your ring, but on one condition, that you will always take care of my younger brother Rex. Nothing should happen to him." Shortly after this, Duke and Rex were sent on a special mission. While leaving then, Duke promised the Baroness that he would take care of Rex and bring him back home safely. And there in the pit, Heavy Duty gave Duke and Ripcord training to use G.I. Joe's dangerous weapons. Before joining the team, both of them would have to show whether they were worthy of it or not. A few days later, the general announced the results. Duke and Ripcord had received approval to join the G.I. Joe team. That same night, when the whole pit was very quiet and most of the team members were resting, suddenly a sharp-nosed aircraft broke through the wall of the pit and entered straight inside. Then Storm Shadow, Zartan, and some soldiers of the Cobra Force came out. After targeting a G.I. Joe soldier, Zartan put on his clothes and moved straight towards General Hawk's room so that he could attack suddenly. At that very moment, the Baroness and Storm Shadow also opened the safe and took out that suitcase containing the nanomites. But despite being wounded, General Hawk somehow activated the emergency alarm, and as soon as they heard the alarm, the whole team came into action. To stop the intruders, they first destroyed their aircraft. Seeing the aircraft destroyed, some of the Baroness's men fought their way into the pit's control room and opened the roof of the pit so that it could help the rest of the people escape. Then, as soon as the Baroness and Storm Shadow started preparing to escape by opening the wings of their special suits, Duke moved forward and blocked their way. But a soldier of the Cobra Force then came from behind and attacked Duke. But fortunately, Ripcord reached there at the right time. He killed the attacker and saved his companion Duke's life. Complete chaos broke out inside the pit. Taking advantage of this, the Baroness and Storm Shadow started fleeing from the pit. Then their path was blocked by Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow stayed behind to face him. While fighting, he realized that the warrior standing in front of him was none other than his childhood friend. Meanwhile, the Baroness started fleeing via the elevator, but Scarlet blocked her way, and now a fierce fight began between the two. In the end, Storm Shadow started flying in the air using his advanced suit. Then the Baroness also caught him, and they both left from there with the suitcase containing the nanomites. An aircraft was already waiting for them above, in which they climbed and left from there in a moment. There in the pit, Ripcord saw that Scarlet was wounded while fighting with the Baroness. Meanwhile, Snake Eyes also started remembering his childhood. He saw his childhood days that he is in Tokyo, where he stole food from a temple, and after being caught, Storm Shadow also beat him up severely. But in the meantime, the Master had seen them. He asked Snake Eyes to stay in the temple and learn martial arts. Here in today's world, inside the headquarters, James asked the Baroness and Storm Shadow to carry out their first terrorist attack. He started saying that, first of all, we will use a nanomite bomb in Paris, because the French government had committed atrocities against my ancestors. In another room, the doctor injected nanomites into Zardan's body, so that with its help he would be completely successful in changing his appearance. On the other side, Duke and the other soldiers present in the pit started suspecting that the mastermind hidden behind all these attacks is none other than James himself. A little later, Breaker found new information about the Baroness, through which they found out that she has been married to Daniel, who is a scientist who has a very big hand in making the nanomite technology. Understanding that the Baroness would go to Daniel to activate the bomb, the G.I. Joe team immediately departed for Daniel's lab. While flying towards Paris, Duke started remembering the events of 4 years ago. When he went on a mission with Rex, Rex entered a lab, but then a fighter plane dropped a bomb on the lab, which caused a terrible explosion, and Rex died. Because of not being able to fulfill his promise, Duke could not face the Baroness, and since then, until today, the distance between the two kept increasing. After reaching Paris, the Baroness and Storm Shadow forcibly entered Daniel's lab and started forcing him to activate all the nanomite bombs present inside the suitcase. As soon as the bombs were activated, Storm Shadow killed Daniel. At that very moment, the G.I. Joe team was going towards the lab, riding in a van. Then, on the way, their eyes fell on the Baroness and Storm Shadow, and they immediately started chasing them. Then, when the Baroness was moving towards the Eiffel Tower to cause an explosion with nanomites, she saw Scarlet chasing her. The Baroness fired a shot at her, causing Scarlet to fall away from the bike, but Ripcord reached at the right time and saved Scarlet. Then Duke and Ripcord continued to chase the Baroness's car, while they were being continuously attacked by missiles. Meanwhile, Snake Eyes managed to enter by sliding under the car. He fired bullets at all 4 tires of the car, but could not stop the car, and, even without wanting to, he had to retreat. Then suddenly, a fast-coming train collided with the Baroness's car, and a tremendous explosion occurred in the car. But even after such a big explosion, the Baroness and Storm Shadow survived. Acting with agility, they fixed the nanomite bombs onto a rocket launcher and then started moving towards the building near the Eiffel Tower. Then Duke saw the Baroness going to the left. Duke ran to stop her while Ripcord was also trying his best to stop Storm Shadow. But unfortunately, Storm Shadow fired the nanomite missile towards the Eiffel Tower, and then within just a few seconds, the nanomites started eating the Eiffel Tower. After the work was completed, when the Baroness was preparing to climb onto the aircraft, Duke also reached there. Duke put in all his strength so that he could snatch the remote control that activates the nanomites, and finally, he succeeded in reaching the Baroness. Duke forcibly entered the plane. Then, through the remote, he deactivated the nanomites that were breaking the Eiffel Tower. But by then the damage had been done, and in no time the Eiffel Tower turned into dust. Then, in the middle of this stampede, Breaker found the corpse of a Cobra Force soldier. Breaker immediately got busy trying to extract all the memories of his brain, but the clever doctor activated the nanomites present inside the corpse from a distance, and the nanomites completely turned the corpse into ashes. But even in this much time, Breaker had extracted some parts of the memory from his brain. After some time, the French military reached there. They arrested Breaker, Scarlet, and Heavy Duty. However, Snake Eyes escaped arrest. The captured G.I. Joe team members were kept as prisoners. After some time, General Hawk came to meet them and said that I have convinced the French government to release you. On the other side, inside the aircraft, Duke was also held in the Baroness's custody. First, Duke apologized to the Baroness for the incident that happened 4 years ago and told the Baroness why he had disappeared from her life after Rex's death. Even if he wanted to, he could never face her. Meanwhile, Storm Shadow started getting his childhood memories. He remembered a childhood fight in which Snake Eyes had defeated him. Also, the Master had praised Snake Eyes, calling him a better warrior. In anger at this, Storm Shadow left the Shaolin Temple. And the next day, when Storm Shadow was running away from there after killing the Master by betrayal, Snake Eyes had seen him. On the other side at the G.I. Joe aircraft's airport, Breaker gave the information obtained from the corpse to his team, through which they found out the location of James's headquarters. James was hidden in the depths of the sea in the North Pole area. On the other side, the Baroness and Storm Shadow took Duke inside a snowy tunnel. During this, when the guards were not alert for a few moments, Duke suddenly snatched the nanomite suitcase and started running. Then Storm Shadow attacked Duke and knocked him down. Duke might have been caught, but he very cleverly also activated the tracker attached to the suitcase so that his team could reach him easily. After this, Duke was taken to the Mars Industries headquarters hidden under the ice, where James started provoking him, and then Duke, getting angry, broke his nose. And then James's men started beating Duke mercilessly. Seeing all this, the Baroness started remembering all the moments spent with Duke. During this, the G.I. Joe team riding in the aircraft also reached the North Pole and got busy with preparations for the attack. James took Duke to the doctor, who is the scientist who controls the nanomites. Then the doctor started fitting the activated nanomite bombs into those missiles that are going to fly to attack 3 major cities in the world. At this same time, the G.I. Joe team reached the snowy tunnel, which was the way to go inside the base. The G.I. Joe team killed all the soldiers stationed there. At that very moment, The doctor also made full preparations to put nanomites into Duke's body. Then when the doctor removed his mask, his true identity came forward. It was none other than Rex, the Baroness's younger brother, whom Duke had considered dead until today. Rex explained that, on that day inside the lab, I met Dr. Mindbender, who was the first scientist to discover nanomites. Just before the blast, we both escaped and managed to stay alive. Since then, I have been trying to improve this nanomite technology, and day and night I remain busy in completing this mission. Then, as soon as the preparations were completed, James launched all 3 missiles, but Snake Eyes, present nearby, saw the missiles flying in the air and destroyed one of them shortly after it flew. Seeing this, Storm Shadow understood that the G.I. Joe team had found out about the Mars Industries secret base. He deployed the Cobra force for a sudden attack. Meanwhile, the Baroness started getting even more troubled because the moments spent with Duke were not leaving her. Because of this, confusion started being created in her mind. Just then, in Washington, the President of the USA was taken to a secure bunker because the President's team had received news that a missile was moving towards the Capitol. Meanwhile, Ripcord flew in an aircraft so that the missiles could be stopped. The rest of the G.I. Joe team reached inside James's hidden headquarters. Troubled by her memories, the Baroness entered the doctor's lab and, by suddenly attacking the doctor, saved Duke. After this, when Duke looked towards the Baroness's neck, he understood what this mark was from. The Baroness has already become a victim of nanomites. The wounded doctor used the remote control to make the Baroness unconscious and started threatening Duke that if he showed any smartness, he would kill the Baroness. Then the doctor told Duke that 4 years ago when you had left, at that time I saw my sister broken and alone. Then I secretly gave the Baroness injections filled with nanomites so that I could control her. She should always be loyal to me. Just then, in other parts of the base, Snake Eyes and the rest of his team kept moving forward while facing the enemies. On the main submarine, General Hawk ordered heavy duty to attack the underwater base, but before the attack could start, Cobra forces blocked the G.I. Joe team's path. After this, a tremendous battle began under the water. Clearing their enemies, the G.I. Joe team reached the missiles control room, and from there they started telling Ripcord the way to go towards the remaining missiles. In the White House, the President of the United States was taken with full security into a bunker made by Mars Industries. At this time, the Cobra Force launched an attack on the G.I. Joe submarine. In response to this, General Hawk also told Heavy Duty to make the weak areas of the base your target as soon as possible. Just then, James was cornered by Duke inside the base. The panicked James tried to burn Duke alive, but Duke retaliated against James using a G.I. Joe weapon. Due to this, the fire turned back towards James. James's face started burning badly, and in the middle of this chaos, the doctor fell down and the remote control came into Duke's hand, after which Duke brought the Baroness back to consciousness. As soon as the Baroness regained consciousness, seeing an opportunity, the doctor quickly escaped with the wounded James. Up in the sky, Ripcord reduced one missile to ashes before it could reach its target. After this, without stopping, he turned his aircraft towards the other missile, which was moving rapidly towards Washington. Suddenly, a shocking betrayal happened inside the bunker. A man from the president's staff fired bullets at all the bodyguards. A few seconds after that, a man came out from a hidden path, and when the president saw him, his eyes were left wide open. Meanwhile, Snake Eyes reached the place from where everyone was controlling the cannons, and he killed the soldiers who were attacking. After this, he faced Storm Shadow. A tremendous fight started once again between the two. At this time, the doctor started fleeing in a submarine with James, but then Duke and the Baroness quickly started chasing them in another submarine. The fight between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow kept going on until Snake Eyes finally defeated him. As soon as the missile reached near Washington, Ripcord reached at exactly the right time and blew up the missile. Meanwhile, activated nanomites stuck to his aircraft, and the nanomites immediately started showing their effect on the aircraft. Finding no other way, Ripcord flew the nanomite-covered aircraft towards space and ejected from the aircraft before the explosion. In the North Pole, the doctor, who had now completely gone out of control, ordered his men to destroy the base and the lab. Because of this, explosions started happening in the secret base present in the water. Now seeing the base being destroyed, Scarlet, Breaker, and Snake Eyes started running towards the elevator and came up above the base at exactly the right time. Meanwhile, inside the submarine, the doctor started injecting nanomites into James's burnt body, and now James's head turned into iron. Also, he got a new name, Destro. The doctor also injected himself with nanomites, and himself became the commander of the Cobras. In just a short time, the GI Joe team surrounded the submarine and caught both of them. Finally, they were put in a high-security prison. Later, scientists told Duke that it would take a lot of time to remove the nanomites from the Baroness's body. At this, Duke promised the Baroness that I will do everything possible to save you. So, the villains went to jail. Our hero got the heroin. It was a happy ending.